are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017 is the number. Feels like Wednesday. And it's actually only like Tuesday. So it's going to be a great day. It isn't, but it's a sad day. One of the men that I looked up to for actually my whole life, Jesse Jackson, has passed away. So we'll get into a little of that. Maybe after we come back from the break, we'll play a little bit of some of the speeches of Jesse Jackson and talk about instances I've had when I've met him on numerous occasions. I hope people don't talk about me like that. I remember when I met Dr. Ken and right, pictures of people I've taken pictures. You know, people putting out pictures of, pictures they took with me that I have no idea who they are, but, this is how it is when you're famous. But some of the things I remember growing up in Chicago and seeing some of the things that he's done and some of the changes that were made because he was really able to make change. And we can rarely say that. Much of Martin Luther King's change came after. A lot of Jesse Jackson's change came during his life. And he was able to see, think about this. He was able to see a black president be elected in the United States of America. That says something. That speaks volume. He always said, keep hope alive, right? But it wasn't a slogan. For him, it was a strategy. The Reverend Jesse Louis Jackson. If you think about it, he didn't just run for president in 1988 or '84. He expanded the imagination of America and really forced the country to see a black man not as a protester outside the system, but as a contender within it, later in the guise of Barack Obama. Now, that's different. Jackson took the energy of the civil rights movement, the marches, the sermons, the churches, the moral thunder, and he translated it into electoral politics. He built Operation Push, People United to Save Humanity. He built the Rainbow Coalition before America even had a language for multiracial democracy, black, Latino, Asian, white, farmers, laborers, college students. One of the things he said was that our pain may look different, but our struggle is connected. And in 1988, right, out of all the primaries, states, he won 11 states. He won 11 primaries. Now, let that sit in for a second. In an America that was wrestling with, still hostility of black leadership, suspicious of economics and things that are going on, he finished second in the Democratic primary for president of the United States. That wasn't symbolic, that was structural. It started a movement. He pressed corporate America before diversity became a billion-dollar industry and everybody else made money on it. Through Operation Push, he demanded contracts for black businesses, executive seats at the table in the conversation where we weren't invited. Investment in communities that banks had redlined into oblivion. And when apartheid gripped South Africa, he spoke. When hostages were stuck overseas and diplomacy failed with the State Department here in the United States of America, he went. He understood something powerful. Moral authority travels across state lines, country lines, and cultures. Now, let's be clear. Reverend Dr. Jesse Lewis Jackson had drama and baggage. But then again, if you think about it, bold personalities they always are. They always have drama and baggage. I might know a little bit of something like that. But he made mistakes. He said things that drew criticism. But you got to remember, we don't build movements on people that are timid. We don't build movements on soft-spoken people. History only bends when someone else pushes. And so without Jesse Jackson's campaigns, the pathway to President Barack Obama looks very different. It's not by accident both came from Chicago. When you think about it, the idea of a black candidate could build a viable national coalition that didn't start in 2008, but they rehearsed it in 1984 and 1988. He stretched the Democratic Party to include us. He stretched black political thought when it wasn't a thing. But more importantly, he stretched America's imagination. And so whether you agree with him or not, he made those people in power answer questions it wasn't really used to answering. Where's the money? Where's the housing you promised? Where are the jobs you promised? I say this day, may God bless the life and the memory of the Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson. He brought us leadership, and he taught us that leadership really is not about finishing first. Sometimes it's about moving the starting line for somebody else.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 101.7 The Truth. On Friday night, the Milwaukee Panthers head to Michigan to take on Horizon League Conference foe, the Detroit Mercy Titans.
And Dorcia slip it right at the top. Elam contested three, and it doesn't matter. He buried it anyway. 20 to shoot. Elam will. No on the three to the top. Ricochet. Dorcius. He'll take the three, and he'll bury it.
Scott Warris has the coverage starting at 5:30 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 6 o'clock.
At Varsity on King, we believe taking care of our community starts right here. together. Every day, neighbors step up to donate blood, helping save lives in Milwaukee and beyond. But Versity on King is more than a donor center. It's a place for health education, community connection, and support, especially for families facing conditions like sickle cell disease. When you donate blood, you're not just giving. You're showing up for your community. Visit versity.org/VersityOnKing to learn more or schedule your donation today. Versity on King, rooted in community, powered by hope.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
We need to optimize the PID controller for smoother robotic movements.
Our data analysis shows a significant correlation between the variables in both control groups.
The test shows you've experienced an acute myocardial infarction.
As you'll see on the syllabus, this course will largely focus on the Mesozoic era.
Get your child the access every child deserves. Enroll your K through 8th grade child by February 28 at Milwaukee College Prep, mkeprep.com/enroll.
He's the voice for the people and the community's connection to change.
Sometimes justice looks different to me. Do you want them in jail for murdering Corey Stingley? Yes, you do. Do you want them to go to trial for what they did and go through that process? Hey, you know. But at the end of the day, the men that took Corey Stingley's life, something happened to where they have to accept the fact that they did that and that they have to be labeled a murderer for a certain length of time on they, you know, and when it was nothing, I think that was a huge thing that happened when you had to climb mountains to get to this point. 13 years?
The Tori Lowe Show, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m., live on YouTube and right here on 101.7 The Truth. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
We've wallowed in the grave too long now. We've mourned too much. It's resurrection time. We cannot expect those who kill us to resurrect us. Now those who hate us to make us feel better about ourselves. Santa Claus ain't real. I'm trying to say something. Slave masters don't retire. Slavery ends when the slave changes his mind.
Those are the words of the Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. I can't find my Altoids, so I'm going crazy. And I just had some, so I laid them down somewhere, and you know how that goes, right? Watch somebody type, "You getting old." And then DJ Brother Z started laughing. This is a boomer moment. It's really not. But okay, if that's what y'all want to do. Hey, what's up, SE? Willie, what's going on? Seafer says, so people are hard on Chevy, a black man running a city during a frustrating time and test of professionalism, boys, and called a crook and argued part of the nice car. So, I don't understand what you're saying. Maybe you're talking to Tory, so, okay. See, I'm not going to go down that road right now. Anyway. Hey, what's up, Kwanda? What's up? Good to see everybody here. Everybody's hanging out. Yeah, I'm not going. Thank you, sir. Where'd I leave him? In there? Out on the table? Oh, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. Well, you know, I have bruxism, right? Because I bite down all the time. And so I really need something to be chewing on something. Otherwise, And I didn't know it as a child, and even now, sometimes I chew my tongue. I'll just be sitting here chewing. People are like, what you eating? I'm like, I don't know what to say. I'm like, Hey, what's up, Curly Q? L. Dawson, what's going on? Not really a city girl. Good to see you. Are you driving? So be careful. Y'all be careful. All right, so yesterday we talked about black men, and I know women thought they got off the hook, but they didn't. Today we talk about black women. We're gonna spend a portion talking about y'alls. So I have a letter to y'all, and I know y'all gonna get upset, and I know y'all gonna get mad, and y'all gonna scream at me. So you can call 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm gonna give you the number first, so we ain't got to go through all the drama and you trying to figure out what I'm gonna get you some and all that blah 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 blah. All right, okay. So here it goes. So black women, I need you to do something. I need you to be careful, to watch out as you build, as you move, as you lead, as you carry the world on your shoulders. You're doing what I call overfunctioning. All right? That's the word, overfunctioning. You have a habit, black women, you have a habit of doing too much for too many, for too long, without rest, reciprocity, or relief. Now, it doesn't show up as weakness. It looks like strength, but it's really dangerous because that's what makes it dangerous. So let me give you 3 reasons that I think why women do this. Now, this is me as a guy. Whether you agree with it, for me, is completely and totally irrelevant. It's what I think. You can agree, you can disagree, you can hit me upside the head. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Number 1, your survival becomes your identity. And so for generations since slavery and before slavery, black women have been stabilizers. When systems fail, they step up. When men were locked out, they went to work. When money was tight, they learned how to stretch it. When children needed protection, they became the shield. The problem is you in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode and when you sustain it too long, it becomes your personality. So now black women are looked at as this strong black woman, right? It's ridiculous. Strength then becomes your default. You don't need nobody. You don't need to be with nobody. Rest feels weird. And then dependence, right? Being in a relationship with somebody, having a partner, having your brother or sister support you starts to feel unsafe. And so somewhere along the line, right, that one phrase you said, oh, I'll handle it, turned into, I have to handle everything. And you really don't. And so overfunctioning starts when survival, that mode you in, like never shuts off. And living in survival mode long after the emergency is over is going to drain you, whether you think you're strong or not. Okay? Number 2, praise rewards exhaustion. Ooh, I'm so tired. I've been working so hard. You hear that all the time? Well, it's a trap. The problem we have in black America is we celebrate strong black women. I got my own house. I got my own car. I don't need nobody. I'm independent. I'm accomplished. I got everything. I can carry everything. I can do anything a man can do. So then the question someone should ask you is, how much does all that cost? We literally applaud exhaustion. I'm tired. I'm working so hard. And then we think being hyper-independent is romantic. I don't need nobody. I can go travel when I want to travel. I can live in my house the way I want to live in my apartment the way I want to live, go where I want to go, change job, do whatever. And somehow self-sacrifice becomes a virtue. And when you're constantly told you're superhuman, you stop giving yourself permission to actually be human. Now, here's the kicker. The world claps for your strength and rarely protects your softness. And if you're not careful, you'll build a great life. People will admire you. They just won't support you. Which leads to my next point. Trust for you then feels risky. Some black women overfunction because letting go is dangerous. They won't let nothing go. They want to take control of everything. If I don't do it, it won't get done right. If I lean over, I might fall. If I soften, I might disappoint somebody. So I got to make sure I get it right all the time. You see it on Sunday. Driving up 91st Street. I can guarantee you, as I'm driving, I'll get to the light at Mill Road, and the car pulls up like they waiting on the light to turn. Come on, lights got to change. Hurry up. And then it speeds off. I look over. It's a woman dressed up on her way to church. Why? Got to get it done. I got to be there on time. I got to do this. I got to do that. Why? Slow down. But what happens is control becomes protection. The problem is you want to control it, that's fine, but you're going to end up being by yourself because control becomes isolation. And you isolate yourself from other people. So when you don't delegate work, when you don't want any help because you got it and you're good, when you don't allow somebody else to help carry the weight, you end up strong. But then you end up like those men we talked about yesterday, alone in your responsibility. And believe me, that's not a partnership, that's performance. Now, let me just tell you, this is not criticism. This is protection. Many of you are not as old as I, and I keep getting arguments from people about not understanding and why things, and we'll dive into some of that, why issues are happening in the community today and why we don't fix things and how the baton wasn't passed and it was a bad, well, I can tell you why it was bad. Nobody wants to accept why it was bad. But there are certain things the next generation has to do in order to receive the baton. They didn't do it, so you don't get the baton. That's just life. Again, it's not criticism, it's protection. Black women are some of the most educated, driven, spiritually grounded, culturally influencers in the world. But if you don't rest, you're going to burn out. And if you have competence without reciprocity, that turns into resentment because then you expect other people to do for you what you do for them. But if you would just go through life understanding that if you're driven to do for other people, do for other people. Your reward is coming later. Just do for other people. There's some things that I had to come to grips with about me that I thought really made me mad because other people took advantage of me. When in fact, they weren't taking advantage of me. They were taking advantage of what I did and my goodness. And I got a question, so I need to ask you. I got a problem. I need to talk to you. And I would think to myself, well, I don't have nobody to go call and talk about my problems. How come I can't? Like, who's gonna talk to me? And guess what? Let me be real. The answer, talk to God, is a non-answer. That's a trash answer when you're in your issue and you got to deal with it. Yeah, I know. You don't talk to God. But at some point, other people need to talk to other people. And we don't do that. We don't do it for the strong people. Strength without softness, ladies, will make you a silent sufferer. And you will walk around and you'll think everything is great and you'll walk around and all of a sudden, suicide hits. You have to watch one thing. You cannot become so strong that nobody can reach you. You cannot become so big and so well respected and so loved that nobody cares about you. And I can say that because I'm in a space where people think, Ken will be all right. He ain't got no feelings. He'll do this. He'll do that. No, I just don't show them. I don't put them on, display like current generations do. But I've also learned how to control those emotions. You deserve to be cared for, not just respected. You deserve to receive, not just always giving. You deserve partnership, not like permanent pressure. Most powerful black women in the room the most powerful one is not the one who carries everything. Got it? You got an issue with anything I'm saying, or you agree with anything I'm saying? 833-212-1017. The most powerful black woman in the room is not the one who carries and controls and is leader and is facilitator of everything in the room. It's the one who knows when to put it down, when to let go. So if you hear my voice and you're a black woman, here's what I want you to do. Audit your load. Figure out how much stuff you're carrying, and if it's too much, let it go. Tell people no. Because that's what I'm doing right now, and it's like upsetting people to no end. I mean, it's driving people crazy. Well, are you going to work on this? And we know, the frat needs you to do such and such. We're like, no, I'm not doing that. Oh, well, we need you to come. I'm not doing that. Well, why not? Because that's what no means. Let somebody else do it. Let somebody else younger come in with all the energy and get it done. Because I'm not. Now, if they need help, if they need somebody to talk to them, if they need somebody to come in and say, hey, look over your shoulder. Hey, have you considered that? And not get into this thing of, you're older, you don't know what you're talking about. Because I'm going to tell you, you got a generation of people that have told y'all, fine. You got it, handle it. Because the only thing you were taught is everything is a crisis. And we got to work it. And you don't want, and how can you work through a crisis when you avoid anything that's bad? How will you know when it's good? You'll think everything's a crisis, and it's not. The other thing you need to figure out is who's carrying you. Who just has a hand out, or better yet, just has a hand on your shoulder to let you know I'm here. Who knows it? Who carries you? And then you got to ask yourself, where do you rest? And watch this. Getting on a plane and going to Bali or Dubai or the Caribbean or Puerto Rico or California or Vegas is not rest. It's not rest. It's not rest. Because now you're going to do the same stuff and you get going and because you got to be the one to make the trip and you got to be the one to get all the directions and what we going to do. We got the itinerary. You're still doing it. I'm going to rest. That's not a vacation. That's work. I take a week, 5 days. I take a week and I go away by myself to a hotel and I do nothing. I don't answer the phone. I don't answer no texts. All my email, include my Gmail. Hey, he's not available until, what's today, the 17th? He's not available until the 24th. He'll return it after the 24th. It's an emergency. Call somebody else. Somebody died. I ain't Jesus. Can't bring him back. What you want me to do? Where do you rest? And then, who checks on you without needing something? I can honestly say, and I'm okay with it because, and I said it before, nobody checks on me. I could be gone for months and nobody will call, hey, where you been? Hey, what you doing? Hey, I'm checking in. And that's okay for me because I plug in when I want to plug in, step out when I want to step out. So I'm okay with that. That doesn't drive me, right? But who checks on you without needing something? Overfunctioning makes you look great. It makes you look excellent. You got it all together. And I hate people like that. Always dressed together, always got it together, dressed good, nails are done, hair's great, always in front, always taking care of it, all this. I say, yeah, but I want to see you when you're broke. I want to see you when you're struggling. How you handle that reveals your character. All that other nonsense, anybody can dress up and look pretty. It's like looking at a pretty girl. It's 10 million pretty women within 5 blocks. Oh, but they're prettier than that one. So they all like, there's always somebody prettier than somebody, handsomer than somebody, shorter than somebody, fatter than somebody, thinner than somebody. Really? They're all human. Over-functioning. I got to look excellent. But if you really want to do it, pursue peace. And when you do that, everything else works out. You deserve peace. And if you're not pursuing that, gotta say it, you're probably wasting your life. And now with 101.7 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazica.
Southbound on 43, backing up from just before North Avenue, all the way down into the Marquette. Now, on that roadway, we do have a crash on the ramp to get onto westbound 94 in the Marquette, so that's something to keep in mind. On westbound 94 itself, it slows down right about at 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound 94, you got backups from about 84th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Pocket of heavy traffic just west of 27th Street on 894 westbound, not quite to Loomis, and then southbound 894 from Beloit Road down about a mile or so. You're going to see a bit of a delay heading towards the Hale. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, showers likely, maybe thunder, a low of 44. Tomorrow becoming mostly sunny, windy and warm, a high of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Laziga on 101.7 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
Prizes, exclusive experiences, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting truthcontests.com. That's truthcontests.com.
Hi, I'm Priscilla Presley. My love for animals began when I was 5 years old. That sparked a lifelong commitment to speak up for animals who can't speak for themselves. Elvis and I supported American Humane Society because your compassion can change a life. American Humane Society strengthens the bond between humans and animals. Please visit AmericanHumane.org to learn more. Thank you.
70 million people in the U.S. have learning and thinking differences, like ADHD and dyslexia. Each has their own story. This is ours. At first, I thought it was just a phase. Then schoolwork became a struggle. Emotions got bigger, and my kids started falling behind. I felt alone, like I was lost in the dark trying to find answers. Then I learned about Understood.org, a nonprofit empowering parents and kids like us. It was like we had a light to show us the path ahead. Whenever new challenges came up, their guidance helped us figure out our next step. We still have tough days, but now we have direction. And I have the tools and resources I need to help my child thrive. No matter where you are on the path, Understood can help you keep moving forward. Visit understood.org/yourpath today.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
This Associated Bank Sports Center update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. The Milwaukee Brewers full squad has started spring training in Phoenix. And MLB All-Star Christian Yelich is excited for a new year.
You have to be fired up for every season. You know, the baseball season requires your full attention. You have to be physically, mentally present every single season to, have a chance at success.
After a magic season last year, the Brewers will look to recapture that magic and make another run towards the World Series. And number 24, Wisconsin, coming off back-to-back top 10 wins, travels to Ohio State Tuesday evening. The Badgers opened last week with an upset against number 8 Illinois, and on Friday took down number 10 Michigan State. They'll look to keep that momentum going. Tip-off tonight, 7:30 p.m. This True Sports Update was brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Slave masters don't retire. Slavery ends when the slave changes his mind. Pimps don't retire. Pimping ends when the prostitute regains her character. Dope pushers don't get tired of pushing dope. When your appetites change, you dry up their markets. And we shall be transformed, not by money, not by Democrats, not by Republicans. We shall be transformed by the renewal of our minds.
There it is. The Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson. 833-212-1017 is the number. I want to remind you the second annual Truth Community Awards is this Friday, so you don't want to miss it. Get your tickets now by going to 1017truthAwards.com. That's 1017truthAwards.com. And I want to say congratulations to Andre Douglas, Erica Crowley, Farina Brooks, Joseph Addison, president of 100 Black Men, Melody McCurtis, and Shawana Lindenberg. Thanks to all of them for making an actual difference in our community. Community Awards are presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks Foundation, Gruber Law Offices, Steinhoffels, Cousin Subs, and Venue 3 at the 3rd Street Market. Remember that this Friday starts at 5:30, hosted by Homer Blow and Bailey Coleman. So make sure you come join us. We ain't got a lot of tickets left, so you might want to squeeze yourself in, because once we hit the limit, that's all it's going to be. 833-212-1017 is the number. We've been talking about black women. Hope I didn't offend any of you. Hope I didn't say something that bothered you, but then I hope I did. I actually hope I did. Hope I did. Not Really a City Girl just sent me a red heart. Curly Q had popcorn up, but then that kind of changed later. So she said 100%, 100%. Hey, Lucretia, what's going on? And did I make you cry? Not Really a City Girl. She threw some tears up in there. Sincere said, Dr. Ken. L. Dawson said 100. She said she loved this topic. Love that. Audit your load. Absolutely. 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 Melody said, good for you, Dr. Ken. Good insight. I understand what you are saying and agree. Sincere said, cooking Ken, that right there. And really, what people seem to not understand is you have to give black women a break. Sometimes you get to, now don't give them a break where they come showing up in, wearing pajamas as if they're clothing. That's not acceptable. Wearing house shoes out and then driving a car, that's not acceptable. Wearing a house robe as if it's a coat, that's not acceptable. And that shouldn't reflect black women at all. But at some point, you need to call a spade a spade. You need to go get your hair done. You need to put some makeup on. Some lipstick, a little rouge, brighten up your cheeks, dress nice, and get out there. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. But then you need to, stomp your feet, dust off the dust, and get rolling. And when you don't feel like it, don't. In other words, what I'm saying is, be strong for you. You can still be strong for everybody else, but be strong for you. Take care of you. Be you. Now, let's flip that around. People going to get mad at you because they're going to say, you're so selfish. Yes, I am. I'm selfish with my time. Watch this. I hang out at the same place every Thursday from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. When people say, hey, I want to connect with you, you know what I tell them? Thursday at this location from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. If I'm in town, that's where I'm going to be. I can't meet. Well, then I can't meet with you. Well, you can't change your day? No, because I got something to do on Monday. I got something to do on Tuesday. I got to do something to do on Wednesday. I got something to do on Friday. I got something to do Saturday. And I got something to do Sunday. What I don't have is time for you. Therefore, let's do Thursday. That's my open day. Want to come hang out and talk? Come hang out. People get mad. But you have to be selfish. Can we meet Thursday? No. Why? Because I'm going to be hanging out. That's my day during the week that nobody gets. My family know where to find me on Thursday. Oh, it's Thursday. Know where you're going to be at? Okay. But Sincere said life goes on. If you make it, it'll come. Let that go. Well, I know life's not fair, but I got to say it. Is that fair? Sometimes you can work hard and you can do your best and it doesn't happen. And that's when it's incumbent upon somebody else who sees you failing or sees you struggling to help you. Because you may not ask for help yourself. You might, have that ego thing and you may not. We talked about that with men the other day. Sometimes you got to step in. Let me add to that, Sincere. You need to just be there regardless of how the other person acts. And you need to let people know, like, I'm here, love you, and there's really not a lot you can do. You can tell me to go away, and I go away, but that's not going to change anything. Because how I feel, like, for a friend, like, I remember the first time somebody told me, when they said something, because I had made the assumption this was my best friend, and he told me somebody else was his best friend, not me. Now, we hung all the time, talked every day. Hey, what's going up, dude? Go play basketball, hang out, and I wasn't his best friend. And you know what I realized? Yeah, I was okay with that. I was perfectly okay. What can you do? I couldn't transfer my values to somebody else, so I kept them. Okay. Still friends to this day. But now, the person has circled back around. Now they want to hang out. Well, I mean, what? Do you want to hang out because I'm on the radio now? Or you want to hang out because I teach at a university now? Like, I can't question that. I can't get into that. The unfortunate part is I don't have any space. Because I'm only going to make room for so long, and then I'm out. And when it's closed, it's closed. But if it's open, just let it stay open. Makes life interesting. Melody said, that is what I cut out. Chaos. Stress will kill you. It's not important next week. Let it go. Next week? Girl, that's too long. I'll give you 3 minutes. And if it ain't rocking, I'm out. And it seems mean, but I have to take care of myself. Ladies, you have to take care of yourself. You're killing yourself. Nobody told you you're eating wrong. Nobody told you you're overweight and you need to change your diet. You need to start working out, even if it's just 5 minutes a day. It's a start. I started working out by simply doing 10 push-ups a day. And every week, I just added one. And I went from 10 to 51. Then I started doing one a day, and the next day I did 2, and then the next day I did 3, and the next day I did 4. Guess what I was at the end of the year? I was about 100, 110 in one sitting. Well, how'd I get there? I had to build up to it. Everybody just wants it instantly. LT said I cut out alcohol and I cut out lots of people who really weren't my friends. Well, see, and here's the other thing. Just because people are in your life, they have to be your friend. I mean, you can know them and y'all can hang out, but they don't have to be your friend. Do they? I don't know. I never thought of life like that. When I want to hang out with some people, I hang out, I call them, hey, what you doing? Yeah. I literally talked to a friend of mine today for about 25 minutes driving here. Hey, what we doing? Hey, next time I'm in Chicago, we're going to go and we're going to do such and such and we're going to hang out at this place and we're going to call people. Because, guys do the, hey, Zach, you want to go to so-and-so? Yeah, let's go. Poop, and they just go. Women, y'all be planning stuff. We got to have an itinerary and we got to have a template of what we're going to do. And then y'all talk about stuff. Guys, they don't do that. They just hang out. They just sit there like, hey, what's up? What's up? Looking at each other. And it's fine. We're just different. But ladies, somebody has to be able to come into your life and tell you, if you don't stop that, you're going to die. If you don't lose weight, or in some instances, gain weight, eat right, go to the doctor, you're going to die. And we're not going to talk about, we'll do that during Nurses Week. We're not going to talk about not going to the doctor because you're afraid of what the doctor will find. I knew a woman, I kid you not, I knew a woman who was over 60 years old. 60 years old. Never went to the doctor to have a mammogram because she was scared of what they might find. What? And nobody talked to you about it? Nope. Interesting. You never know what somebody else is carrying, especially a woman, because they don't talk. You think men don't talk? Women don't talk. Women talk to each other. But they might talk to that one person. And then the one person, like a knucklehead, the other girl, her girlfriend, keeps it quiet. Well, she didn't want nobody to tell. What? Makes no sense. But then when you say something, they get offended. Hey, girl, when you going to lose some weight? Oh, my God, I'm so offended. You offended me. Good. Maybe you'll think about it. To be around for your kids, your grandkids, your aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters, that kind of thing. But we don't say anything. We don't go, hey, like, what you doing? Like, I literally had a friend and I told them, hey, if you keep drinking like that, yeah, I ain't hanging with you. What you mean? If you keep drinking like that, I'm not hanging with you. Everybody has a vice. Mine might be smoking cigars. I got to watch that because, it can cause heart disease and all that, so you got to be very careful. Alcohol, not my jam. So if you drink a lot, you don't hang around anymore. Yeah, because y'all go out and drink and then you all go walk to your car and drive home. I'm not with that. And, right, I'm not the police, so I can't arrest you. So I got zero power. So guess what we going to do? Yeah. Y'all going out to drink? Yep, I'm not going. It's really easy. I'm not going. I'll see you. You think you're better than people. I would think you would think you're better than everybody, too. I think that's the way you should act. We need to tell our black women, y'all need to step up and take care of yourself and fix all that nonsense. because otherwise, and I'm watching women. This is a weird part before we go to break. I'm watching women being buried by their husbands. That's weird to me. Y'all know y'all stress men out enough that we die before you. We don't really die. We just be trying to get away from y'all. But you know, like when men have to start burying their wives, that's a problem. 49 minutes after the hour, 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm Dr. Ken Harris, and I'm a member of Educators Credit Union, where your money is powered by purpose. Educators Credit Union community advocates. They're driven to uplift the Milwaukee community with donations to local organizations such as Milwaukee Tool Library and sponsorships of events large and small that take place in our backyard. So make the switch, just like I did. Go to ECU.com. It's Educators Credit Union. ECU.com, insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility is required. Listen Fridays to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris during Black History Month for Dr. Ken's Trivia. It's not just questions, it's culture, facts they don't teach you, and a few stories that matter. We'll test what you know and teach each other something new along the way. Lock in your Fridays in February. Be ready to call in and bring your brain with you. Dr. Ken's Trivia, Friday in February on Truth in the Afternoon with me, Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, YouTube, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Life isn't a single moment. It's a shared ribbon that bends through the years. It binds us to the things and people we love most. One insurance company knows this because they live it. For 100 years, we've been with your family for the moments that matter most. Erie Insurance.
Find a local agent at erieinsurance.com.
It is time to plan for kindergarten. Will your child turn 3, 4, or 5 by September 1st? Learn about kindergarten programs and enroll now at Milwaukee Public Schools. Explore schools offering traditional kindergarten, Montessori, and more. MPS students enjoy art, music, and physical education along with reading, writing, math, and science. Bus transportation and before and after school care are available. Attend the citywide kindergarten enrollment fair on February 21st at North Division High School. Get the details at mpsmke.com/enroll.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about 4 walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I was born in the slum, but the slum was not born in me. And it wasn't born in you, and you can make it. Wherever you are tonight, you can make it. Hold your head high. Stick your chest out. You can make it. It gets dark sometimes, but the morning comes. Don't you surrender. Suffering breeds character. Character breeds faith. In the end, faith will not disappoint. You must not surrender. You may or may not get there, but just know that you're qualified. You hold on and hold out. We must never surrender. America will get better and better. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
That was the Reverend Jesse Jackson. Powerful speaker. Now, if we gonna play something during Black History Month, that's what we're gonna play. I think in many instances he was drowned out by the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. And he's made some statements and has, I know people argue with me, has made some significant moves in America that has moved us forward that Martin Luther King never had a chance to do because he was assassinated. I mean, Operation Push was no joke, and neither was Rainbow Coalition. The fact that they thought he was crazy to run for president in 84 and 88 and came in second, that helped us know that Barack Obama could come in first. And Barack Obama won Iowa, and it went everywhere but down for him. So when we look at the great ones, you have to include Jesse Jackson. And he wasn't perfect, which makes him even better because he was like us, an imperfect human trying to do perfect work. It was great. Yeah. 833-212-1017 is the number. We hope that he rests in peace. It'll be great. So we've been talking about women for the first hour. I might get back to y'all. I might not. Unless y'all bring it up. You got any comments in the 5 o'clock hour? 833-212-1017 is the number. Feel free to jump in and go from there. So Jasmine said, Dr. Ken, I appreciate the conversation about black women. Oh, you're so very welcome. Melody said, especially blood, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family, so you're not obligated to like them. You're not obligated to like anybody. Sincere said, majority don't listen, Ken. You know how most of those conversations going in. But that's not the point. The point is you plant the seed now, and then later it'll grow. But, as Jesse said, you got to keep hope alive. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Top 5 up next.
Need a way to hype up your day?
Hello, is this Shirley?
This is she.
Shirley, you are our Gruber 5K giveaway winner this quarter. Congratulations.
What would you do with $5,000?
Trying to look at buying me a pickup truck. That will be some of my down payment.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
I love you guys.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Want to protect our planet? The air we breathe, water we drink, and land we share? Real progress begins with birds. Yes, birds. The very ones we see and hear every day. On a walk, in the park, or simply out the window. That's because birds are more than birds. They're symbols, sentinels that reveal the health of our planet and our people. And by helping them thrive, all of us thrive as well. Audubon is a place where birds matter, where habitats are protected, where communities are engaged, and where change takes flight. Because at Audubon, hope begins with birds. Progress begins with birds. It all begins with birds. Audubon.
Hey there, Jane Lynch here. You want to hear something funny? Too bad. You want to hear something uplifting that will inspire you? Good. Because today, I want to talk to you about Direct Relief, a humanitarian organization that does seriously good work when it counts. Fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. When disaster strikes, Direct Relief immediately shows up with medicines, medical supplies, and everything doctors and nurses need to save lives. Let's ship her out! Every day across the United States and around the world, they're making an enormous difference. If someone needs help, Direct Relief helps. No politics, no red tape. Hey, what you doing over there?
Oh, I'm packing insulin for kids with diabetes.
See, every box here is literally a lifeline for someone in critical need. So check them out at directrelief.org and donate if you can. You might just bring a smile to someone's face.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I guess today and tomorrow is supposed to be a little chilly. You know, a little chilly up in here. It's 2 minutes after the hour, 41 degrees. The low tonight is at 35. Feels like 37 right now. So winds are from the east-northeast at about 5 miles an hour. Moderate air quality. It's a 94. So we're doing pretty good. But over the next few days, it's supposed to get a little chilly. So I'm not really looking forward to it. But Wednesday, the high is 57. Thursday, 47. Friday, 36. Saturday, 35. Sunday, 31. Monday, 29. And then it's kind of levels off in the high 30s, low 40s, and you know, we'll see that for the foreseeable future. So everybody keeps saying, you know, it's global warming. We're going to, whatever. There's nothing we can do about it, so whatever. And that drives people crazy. That's the only reason I say it, because it drives everybody crazy. I don't really understand why. Like it's, yeah. Anyway, 833-212-1017. Let me check my talk and text line. I've been remiss to check the talk and text line. Daphne said, love that, Dr. Ken. Well said. He said, I heard it's going to be 63 tomorrow on your channel. I think they were talking about today. So you may have been listening to a rebroadcast. That's weird. That's weird. Let me see. Uh-oh. Got to change one thing. So that was... All right. I got it right. You know, sometimes the computer be tripping and be like doing stuff and saying stuff that it's not supposed to. Let me also check my YouTube chat. Salute Jesse Jackson. Rest in power. Rest sincere. I don't know why people do that. They change the last words. It's such a generational. Rest in power. I don't know what that means. Okay, I don't know what that means. I'm here stuck in. Okay. Why am I getting all this? I don't know. That's kind of weird. Now that is suspect. 833-212-1017 is the number. Hey, do you think harming children and the elderly, is it kind of equal? I wonder which is worse.
Number 5.
From Fox6Now.com, a 52-year-old Oak Creek man is accused of stealing from a patient at a Franklin memory care facility where he worked. I guess he thought she wasn't going to remember. The accused is Bryant Moss, and he faces the following criminal counts: unauthorized use of personal identifying information or documents, obtaining thing of value, crime against an elderly or disabled person, and theft, value not exceeding $2,500, crime against an elderly or disabled person. Here's a theft investigation. According to the criminal complaint, Franklin police detectives spoke on October 30th of 2025 with a person about items that her parents were missing. The items included a Samsung Galaxy phone, a gold wedding ring with 8 to 9 diamonds, and a gold engagement ring. The person wanted the missing items documented because she did not know if the items were stolen or lost. Well, Wednesday, January 14th, Franklin police officer responded to a credit card theft at Franklin Place Memory Card on West Drexel Avenue, and the facility houses residents who have memory loss. There are about 40 to 50 employees. Officers spoke to one of the people who reported in October that her parents' belongings were missing. That person indicated her brother called her and told her that there were fraudulent charges made on the credit card belonging to their mother. That's what the complaint says. Officer then spoke with the memory care's director, who provided a list of employees who'd been assigned to the mother's room. And on the 19th of January, the detective spoke once again, called the woman who reported the belongings missing. She and her brother have power of attorney for their parents and now believe that someone had taken her mother's phone and jewelry. The brother provided emails showing declined payments at Walgreens for $507.95 and pending transactions at Villard Petromart and McDonald's. Well, the detective on the 20th of January went to a Walgreens on Titonia in Milwaukee where the payment had been declined. They viewed and obtained video that showed a man attempting to buy a gift card with a credit card at 1:41 p.m. on January 12, 2026. And the video showed the suspect leave the building after the transaction, get into a black SUV parked just north of a Milwaukee County Transit bus after entering the Walgreens parking lot. Detective requested bus footage for the bus that had been parked at the location while the black SUV was parked in the Walgreens parking lot. On the 22nd, made contact with the owner at McDonald's on Titonia, but was advised there was no saved footage from the 12th because video system hard drive had to be replaced. Detective was able to retrieve and review video from Villard Petromart. Showed a black male wearing all black, enter the store, attempt to make a purchase. On the 30th, he used this information for the initial complaint regarding the cell phone that was missing. He learned the phone had been pawned for cash at Eco ATM at a pick and save in Oak Creek. They showed that the defendant, Bryant Moss, had swapped the phone for cash and provided his driver's license and photo to conduct the transaction. The complaint says detectives compared the license and photos to the Walgreens video and determined that they look similar in age and build. And according to the complaint, a records check revealed that the defendant's vehicle was a what? Black 2010 Mercedes SUV that matched the one they saw on the Walgreens video. So this shows you that every single time you go in public, you are on video somewhere. So if you say something happened or if you say you were somewhere, they can figure out whether or not you were there. One bus driving by at the time saw you there. Wow. So they caught him. He made a court appearance on Sunday the 15th. Signature bond was set at $2,500, due back for a preliminary hearing on March 6th. So, interesting. I guess some things do work out. But then again, sometimes they don't. And I guess it's official. Oh, here's another drinking story. Guess it's not safe to walk across the street.
Number 4.
From CBS 58, a Wauwatosa woman faces felony charges after prosecutors say she drove over an 80-year-old pedestrian while intoxicated, telling police she'd been drinking. Now, have you heard of this, Zach? Listerine shots? Earlier that day. So I went and searched, like, what in the heck is a Listerine shot? So I typed in Listerine shots. And when I checked, it's a cocktail made to resemble the color of Listerine mouthwash, but not actually mouthwash. Shocking. It should be consumed responsibly. And so I'm thinking, well, like, what's in it? Like, what could possibly be in it? Well, pretty much anything you want to put in it, as long as you make it look like the color of Listerine. And so I never understood this because, I'm not a big drinker, so I don't really. Lime juice, melon liqueur, and blue, and I'm not going to say it, Curacao liquor, I guess. And so you make lime juice fresh. You can press it yourself. You mix the ingredients together, pour it into a shot glass, and basically it looks the color of Listerine. The things we will go through to make drinks. Well, Marlon Espinoza, 38, was charged yesterday in connection with a Friday the 13th crash at 68th and Wells. And according to the criminal complaint, she was driving her son, who's 12, to McDonald's when she turned and struck a pedestrian crossing in a crosswalk. Witnesses told police both passenger tires rolled over the victim. She denied drinking that day, telling police she has several prescription medicines. But then police detected an odor of alcohol on her breath. And she says she drank Listerine shots. She, of course, reportedly performed poorly on the field sobriety test, blew a .11, and Wisconsin is .08 for blood alcohol concentration on the evidentiary test. And the victim, who was the last of 6 people crossing the street, suffered a fractured pelvis, a fractured right fibula, and possible internal bleeding. She told investigators she had tried to put her hand out to stop the car before it hit her. Espinoza faces 4 felony counts, 2 counts of injury by intoxicated use of a vehicle causing great bodily harm, 1 count of operating while intoxicated causing injury with a minor in the vehicle, knew that was coming, and 1 count of operating with a prohibited alcohol concentration causing injury with a minor in the vehicle. Well, we'll see how that works. Oh, look, here's another story. The Trump administration is about 42 years too late, or is it too early?
Number 3.
This also from CBS 58. A federal judge, thank God, evoked the dystopian world of George Orwell's novel 1984 and ordered the Trump administration yesterday to return a longstanding exhibit on slavery it removed from a popular historic museum in Philadelphia. U.S. District Judge Cynthia Roof, an appointee of former President George W. Bush, included multiple references to Orwell in her ruling, granting the city of Philadelphia's request to restore the exhibit panels to Independence National Historical Park, while litigation over their removal continues. As if the Ministry of Truth in George Orwell's 1984 now existed with its motto, ignorance is strength, this court is now asked to determine whether the federal government has the power it claims to disassemble and disassemble historical truths when it has some domain over historical facts. It does not, Ruth said, referring to the famous novel which deals with themes of oppression and rigid governmental control. Well, last month, work crews took down large display panels at the president's house site where President George Washington and John Adams once lived. Soon after, the city sued the administration in federal court, claiming the government was required to consult with Philadelphia before making any changes. Siding with the city, Ruth noted that Congress passed legislation that specifically limited the authority of the Interior Department to unilaterally alter or control the park. Ruth wrote that the government can convey a different message without restraint elsewhere if it so pleases, but it cannot do so to the president's house until it follows the law and consults with the city. And I wonder, is the city going to say yes? I don't think so.
Number 2.
Well, here we go again with security guards from Fox6Now.com. A confrontation at a Milwaukee Family Dollar escalated into what a witness describes as excessive force by a security guard. Monte Mabra, M-A-B-R-A, Mabre, said he stopped at the store last Thursday and he saw security trying to remove a customer who appeared intoxicated. He said the situation began inside the store before moving outside and recorded the incident on his phone, only shared with Fox 6 News. So what they're saying is that he said, I noticed the security was talking to a guy who had urinated on himself. When I got in my car, I turned around and I see him punching, flipping him to the ground and start dragging him out of the store. Then he got up and started beating the man with a baton. Mabra said the man did not fight back. He was instead trying to retrieve his shoe, which had fallen off in a bag at the counter. Mabra said this wasn't a robbery. There wasn't a gun. There wasn't a person there that was fighting or anything. Well, Fox 6, of course, went to the store, Mabry, on Monday to ask about the incident. Workers acknowledged something happened, but referred questions to the company's corporate office. Mabry said he definitely needs training. I'm thinking he might need to be fired. But anyway, that's just an opinion. He said he did not call police and left before the situation was resolved, citing concerns for his own safety, and now he wants action. He said there's nothing that warranted you to beat, punch, kick, hit, none of that. Fox 6 reached out to Family Dollar's corporate media office but did not receive a response. They also contacted the Milwaukee Police Department to ask whether officers were called or were aware of the incident, but did not hear back. Security guards again. Guess you don't have to be afraid of the police. Now you got to be afraid of the fake cops.
Number 1.
Number 1 story today from blackenterprise.com. You've been hearing it all along. Reverend Jesse Jackson, profound civil rights leader and philanthropist, dies at age 84. They said in a press release, our father was a servant leader, not only to our family, but to the oppressed, the voiceless, and the overlooked around. We share him with the world, and in return, the world became part of our extended family. His unwavering belief in justice, equality, and love uplifted millions, and we ask you to honor his memory by continuing the fight for the values he lived by. Rainbow Push Coalition founder is known as a history maker not only to the black community, but he's known to the world. Following the 1968 assassination of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, that's North Carolina A&T, or for those of you from down home, North Kakalaka A&T, graduated and picked up where he left off and continued to fight for justice. He penned famous pleas such as Keep Hope Alive while running for president twice, giving speeches that captured, that you've been hearing all day, the hearts of advocates and elected officials and politicians, uplifting the Democratic Party during times of defeat. And according to New York Times, his 50-minute speech at the 1984 Democratic National Convention was labeled as a high point when the party felt defeated against then Republican candidate Ronald Reagan. Jackson once said, "My constituency is the disparate, the damned, the disinherited, the disrespected, and the despised. They are reckless, and they seek relief."
On Friday night, the Milwaukee Panthers head to Michigan to take on Horizon League Conference foe, the Detroit Mercy Titans.
And Dorcia slip it right at the top. Elam contested three, and it doesn't matter. He buried it anyway. 20 to shoot. Elam will. No on the three to the top. Ricochet. Dorcius. He'll take the three, and he'll bury it.
Scott Warris has the coverage starting at 5:30 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 6 o'clock.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It is time to plan for kindergarten. Will your child turn 3, 4, or 5 by September 1st? Learn about kindergarten programs and enroll now at Milwaukee Public Schools. Explore schools offering traditional kindergarten, Montessori, and more. MPS students enjoy art, music, and physical education along with reading, writing, math, and science. Bus transportation and before and after school care are available. Attend the citywide kindergarten enrollment fair on February 21st at North Division High School. Get the details at mpsmke.com/enroll.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 101.7 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about 4 walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is the JB's Monorail.
I want to remind you the award-winning 101.7 The Truth proudly celebrates Black excellence and the most monumental moments in our history. All month long, we're honoring the voices like Jesse Jackson, the stories that we've told you before, and the achievements that have shaped our past, empowered our present, and continue to inspire our future. Tune in to me on Fridays, spotlighting powerful facts and moments you need to know. And Tori Lowe's Our Voices, Our Stories, amplifying the youth, the perspectives, and lived experiences that define who we are. Tune in all month as 101.7 The Truth uplifts the legacy, the brilliance, and the power of Black history, because Black history isn't just history, it's happening every day. 101.7 The Truth celebration of Black History Month is proudly sponsored by two of my favorites, Educators Credit Union and Tay Back Law. 833-212-1017 is the number. Hey, you remember that dust up I talked about yesterday in my top 5 at 5 between Jocasta Zamarripa and Mark Chambers? Well, the alderwoman and Wisconsin Secretary of State candidate is filing a formal complaint after an exchange between herself and fellow alderman Mark Chambers on the 11th. Zamarripa cites in a statement sent out on the 17th, she was confronted in her office by Chambers and was then verbally berated, physically intimidated in a way that made me feel trapped, because he's taller probably, and unable to safely exit your own office. Anyway, let me stop. The older woman's statement mentions that multiple individuals witnessed the incident, and during the encounter, I was subjected to profane and degrading remarks, including being taunted to start crying. The comments were gendered. Oh my God! When you argue with somebody, you can't bring up the fact that they're a woman or they're a man. Stop it. And demeaning. And no, I'm not saying it lightly that she's not, because, all the women in women's groups will scream and have a hissy fit. Zimmel in the statement, who also noted, this is not the first time I have experienced hostility from this individual. I don't know if that's against the law to get mad and holler at somebody. I don't know. During the encounter, in addition to the formal complaint, she's also requesting a full investigation under the city's ethics code, including whether this conduct constituted misuse of office. What? And violated the standards required of city officials. That's according to the statement. I don't know her. I know Mark. I guess passion doesn't count anymore. You can't raise your voice because we really do have a generation that cries when you know. And I don't know if she's a white female or Hispanic female or whatever, but here come white girl tears again, and you got to be careful, because when white girl tears flow, everybody pays. They could do something to you and you could correct them, and once they start crying, you're in trouble. You're done. You make a white girl cry, everybody will turn against you. You must have said something. You must have done something. Oh, my God. Can't win. So you know what you do? You avoid at all costs. Just don't go. Just don't go there. Whatever you feel, go home. It's like the email, right? You need a junk email account with no contacts, so you could send it to yourself. All right, I wrote it out and I sent in. Send it. That's it. And then it'll go nowhere. It'll just come back to you. Because that's usually what gets you upset, mad, fired, little stuff like that. So this will be interesting. But this is what happens to black people who actually speak up or speak their mind. You get hammered and then you get investigated. Look at what they did to Aisha Carr. Have we talked about her yet? We haven't. So, and I was going to talk about it the other day and I didn't. And it came last week out of the blue. Aisha Carr, former MPS board member, was sentenced to probation last Friday. She was convicted of filling out a defective campaign finance report. They must have really needed to go after her, because they usually have you just corrected and that's that. They must have really wanted her off the school board. That's why the school board and MPS is so janky, because you got people on the school board that do nonsense like this. You got people in the public that don't want. Let me stop. A judge sentenced Carr to 18 months probation. She was ordered to complete 50 hours of community service, and a restitution hearing in the case has been scheduled for March. She resigned from MPS, the board of school directors, in May of 2024. Prosecutors were investigating her at the time for possible misconduct in office that seemed to center on where she lived. The next month, Carr was formally charged with 2 felonies, misconduct in office and theft. That case was one of the 2 that was later dismissed, but read into a 3rd case. Prosecutors accused her of breaking laws about food stamps and campaign finance reports, as well as misrepresenting whether she really lived in the MPS district she represented. And that 3rd case filed against her, she was charged with 11 total felonies. She pleaded guilty to 1 felony in December, and the rest of the charges were ultimately dismissed. I think that's unfortunate, because here's what happened. Why couldn't you just plead them down to a misdemeanor and call it a day? See, that's what happens to, I got to say this, that's what happens to black people. They want to get you on a felony so they can stop you from ever running for anything, stop you from having any power, and whenever you try to speak up, they remind you you're a convicted felon. You can't have this, you can't have that, you can't do this, you can't do that. So as long as she's on probation, she can't vote. Why would you give her 18 months of probation? Why wouldn't you just give her a year probation, call it a day? Why wouldn't you plead it down to a misdemeanor and give her 2 years probation? Nope, we didn't do that. We jam people up so that they can't exercise their constitutional rights. And that's unfortunate. That means somebody had a burr up there behind and they wanted to get her, and they did. And that's what people do. You ready? I'm going to make it political. You'll get mad. That's what Democrats do to Democrats. When they don't like you and you black, that's what they do. They dig and they dig and they dig and they dig and they dig. And if it looks like you did something wrong, they come after you. And now they're going after all the black and all the Hispanic people in city council. And they're going to keep whacking and keep doing it until the only person left is Chevy, because they like him. But they're going to try to get rid of every single black person and replace them with somebody that don't look like them. And next thing you know, you're going to look up. And that's going to be that. You think I'm kidding? So you remember last week when there's a story between Perez and the guy that runs the Wisconsin district, Marty, right? They were going back and forth, and so-and-so pinched somebody. They were drunk. Guess what story just broke? Did a Milwaukee alderman break the law when he voted to approve a license for a business that rents from him? The head of the Common Council admits that it was unintentional oversight. He said he reported himself to the state and to city ethics authorities. Milwaukee Common Council President Jose Perez owns a building near 10th and National in Walker's Point. He owns the building, but not the restaurant. That's his tenant. In November 2025, Perez voted to approve a liquor license for the bar and the restaurant. The business's application says it expects 50% of sales will be alcohol, 50% food, and it says they pay Perez $3,000 a month. The law says no local public official may take any official actions substantially affecting a matter in which the official, a member of his or her immediate family, or an organization with which the official is associated has a substantial financial interest. Also, use his or her office or position in a way that produces or assists in the production of a substantial benefit, direct or indirect, for the official. That one license application was tucked in with more than 140 others up for approval at the same time. During the Common Council meeting, the names of the businesses weren't said out loud, but before the vote, there's a question. Have the Common Council members read the report and recommendations of the License Committee, as well as objections filed in this matter? As Common Council Jose Perez. They all responded one at a time, and the council approved the whole batch of licenses 15-0. Somebody had to have gone back in to find it so they could jam him up regarding the complaint. That's just my conspiracy theory. He said, it's come to my attention that I voted on a tavern license issue at the Common Council meeting in November of 2025 involving a tenant of my property that I owned, when instead I should have recused myself. This was unintentional oversight. The license was recommended for approval with a 5-0 vote by the License Committee and was subsequently approved with a 15-0 vote of the Common Council. My vote did not have a substantial effect on the outcome. I reported my oversight to the appropriate state and city ethics authorities. His vote was not needed for the business to get the license. He doesn't face any charges in the case, but if someone is convicted, they could face a fine of up to $1,000. Why is this story here? Why is it here? Had he not said anything about the other issue and had it investigated, then this probably would not have come out. But this is what happens. Death by 1,000 cuts. We just keep going, and we keep going, and we keep going, and we keep going. And they're going to go after Mark, They're going to go after Perez, and they're going to go after Stamper, and they're going to go after everybody that got color. They might let the women pass until there's a majority, white male or white female, on the city council, and then things will change. And if you think you got it bad now, wait till then. And now with the final check of traffic on 101.7 The Truth, here's Debbie Lazica.
We are rolling along relatively well. We do have some delays around the area along southbound 43, making your way in towards the Marquette interchange. Give yourself a little bit of extra time there. Since those earlier accidents right down into the Marquette have been cleared out of the way, things are starting to improve. So delays from North Avenue down through the Marquette to the KK River. Northbound still heavy out of the Marquette up to North Avenue. Westbound 94, you've got backups from just before 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound, we've got delays basically from Highway F all the way past Brookfield Road, and then back on the brakes from 84th Street to Hawley. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, showers likely, maybe thunder, a low of 44. Tomorrow becoming mostly sunny, windy, and warm, a high of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazica on 101.7 The Truth.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Truth Nation, it's time once again to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community at the second annual Truth Community Awards, happening Friday, February 20th at Venue 3 inside the 3rd Street Market Hall in downtown Milwaukee. This award show will honor the unsung heroes who show up, give back, and make a positive impact in our community every single day. We are rolling out the red carpet and showing love to those who truly deserve it. Buy your tickets now by visiting 1017thetruthAwards.com. Tickets are just $20, which includes free food and exclusive Truth giveaways. Join the 1017 The Truth team for an unforgettable night of entertainment, inspiration, and community pride at the second annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 20th at Venue 3 in Milwaukee. The Truth Community Awards are presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Gruber Law Offices, Steinhoffels, Milwaukee College Prep, Cousin Subs, Venue 3 at the 3rd Street Market Hall, and the Milwaukee Bucks Foundation.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
This Associated Bank Sports Center update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. The Milwaukee Brewers full squad has started spring training in Phoenix. And MLB All-Star Christian Yelich is excited for a new year.
You have to be fired up for every season. You know, the baseball season requires your full attention. You have to be physically, mentally present every single season to, have a chance at success.
After a magic season last year, the Brewers will look to recapture that magic and make another run towards the World Series. And number 24, Wisconsin, coming off back-to-back top 10 wins, travels to Ohio State Tuesday evening. The Badgers opened last week with an upset against number 8 Illinois, and on Friday took down number 10 Michigan State. They'll look to keep that momentum going. Tip-off tonight, 7:30 p.m. This True Sports Update was brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yo, Eddie, man, you got it?
I got it.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon with me, Dr. Ken Harris, all during Black History Month. You can check out Fridays for Dr. Ken's Black History Trivia. It's not just questions, it's culture, it's facts. They don't teach you stories that matter. We'll test what you know and teach you some stuff along the way. Lock in Fridays in February. This Friday will be the last day, and then I'll do the following on Tuesday because I'll be out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So make sure you lock it in on this Friday, lock it in next Tuesday. Make sure you bring your brain with you. Fridays during Black History Month on 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken's Black History Trivia right here. For contest rules, visit goodkarmabrands.com. That's goodkarmabrands.com. 833-212-1017 is the number. Crystal said, the passing of Reverend Jesse Jackson depresses me so much. It shouldn't. It should not depress you. You should be overjoyed and celebrate the life and the legacy and the work that he has done for not just the black community, but for the country, for the world. So, yeah. He has done great and marvelous things, and so we have to give it to him. We have to make sure that people know who he is. We need to treat him like we treat Martin Luther King, like we treat Thurgood Marshall and everybody else. Marty, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Hello, Marty.
Hello, Dr. Ken.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. Thanks for taking the call. I appreciate it very much. That first hour was just excellent, I thought. I just wanted to bring back one point that stuck out to me was when you said, take care of yourself. And it's such an important point. It's, I think of the analogy that what they say when you get on the airplane, put your mask on first, then you're able to render aid. And that's so important for us right now. And, you're talking about Jesse Jackson passing. I saw him speak down at Metropolitan Baptist back in the day. And one of the things I remember is, and Reverend Barber talked about it today a little bit, he was about economics. And as you mentioned earlier today, you talked about where are the jobs? And, that's my thing. So if I may, if you got a moment, I could just give you a litany of the things that are going on in the city of Milwaukee with regard to the DOT.
I don't want a litany.
Department of Transportation.
I don't want a litany. Give me about 30 seconds.
30 seconds? Okay. I can't do it in 30 seconds.
Okay, well, then I guess you won't.
Okay, well, we just have a situation where Bob Gutierrez, the Secretary of Transportation, told me personally at a meeting downtown where he brought his entire staff from the DOT. They were talking about the teardown of the the 794 downtown.
Okay.
Big.
What about
big meeting? 300 people there, big ballroom. I don't know if maybe you were there. But so it's 25 of, I counted 25 of his staff, all wearing name tags, distributed around the room, got all the maps out and everything like that.
Marty,
yeah.
I don't need a description. I just need you to tell me what it is you were going to say. Like, what was the point?
Well, it's the fact that he had 25 people at this big meeting, and I saw Bob Gutierrez walking around the room shaking hands. I asked him the question, this is a big meeting. Did you bring everyone from your office down today? And he said, yes, I did. Everyone is here. And I said, you do not have one black man on your staff? And Bob Gruder he went a shade of white that I've never seen before, because he didn't know me. I never met him before. But he said, I'm having a hard time finding anyone. So, Dr. Ken, I'm sitting outside of Lisbon Avenue right here.
Okay.
I've been watching the Lisbon Avenue project for the past year.
Okay.
It's going to go on for another year.
Okay.
Not one black man on that project.
So why do you think that is?
I go to...
Stop. We're done. Why do you think that is?
I was going to ask you.
Well, probably because they didn't apply. Because nobody wants to work for them.
No, he said he was having a hard time finding someone.
Again, because they didn't apply. And so what happens is the word gets out. Well, let me finish and explain it. We hear where not to work. Sometimes we hear you don't want to work for them. So when those projects come up, we don't go work for them. We purposefully don't work for certain people. And especially in construction, some of them you don't want to work for. Like, it's just known in the community, don't work there. Because if you work there, no matter what you do, no matter what your expertise, no matter what your license, you're going to end up holding that idiotic sign that says stop or slow. So why work there?
Why are we at that point? At the time when Jesse Jackson passes away, we've made that little progress?
I wouldn't call not working for the DOT progress. It's like everything else.
Well,
they hire them. Listen, these are the realities of life. When you are in charge and you are in power, you hire your own and you box other people out. We can pretend it, or we can deal with it and move forward and do other things.
How do we deal with it?
Well, we don't have to deal with it. It's not our office. It's not our problem. When they do something wrong, you come after them with a vengeance. You protest. You do all the things you have to do. But it's like your family. I'm not going to put myself in Marty's family. I'm not in Marty's family. I don't care how hard I fight. If I don't marry anybody or I wasn't born in your family, I'm not in your family. Well, it's the same way with some of these businesses. If you're not part of it, you don't get in. So why bother?
This is a public entity.
So?
You're supposed to have fairness, democracy.
That democracy isn't necessarily reflective in race, because then if you find something that's predominantly black, you're going to say we got to add white and Hispanic people because it's all black. Like, where does it end?
I'm sorry if I come across that way. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I can't believe that there's no black men that can work on I-794, I-175, Lisbon Avenue.
You got to do it
now
on
we
both
have
sides.
194 going on. That's a $2 billion project.
Because you got to do it on both sides. Because the same thing, the EEOC office in Washington, D.C. is going out and advertising that white men who want to complain about discrimination should file a complaint. Like, when does that happen? White men run everything. Like, literally, there is not an industry in America that white people don't run. Not higher education.
Well, why don't we address that?
Well, how do you address that? How do you address something you have no power to enter? You have no power to run it. You're not in charge, and you don't have a seat at the table, nor do you have a seat in the boardroom. Like, how do you fight that? I know how to fight it, but I'm asking you, how do you fight it?
Let us put together a plan to get people in place to bring back power. I don't want
to work there. Like, listen to what
I'm talking about just getting into power. You can decide whether you want to work there or not later. I'm just saying, let's get into power since we have the numbers.
What makes you think I want to chase where white people work? Like, think about what you're saying. We should feel honored to work in and all.
I'm not saying that.
I'm saying, listen what I'm saying. I should feel honored by working in a place where it's all white and I'm the only black person or only one of two black people. I don't feel honored
Dr.
by
Ken,
that.
I would never say that. That is ridiculous.
I'm not saying you're saying it. I'm saying, should I feel honored? Absolutely not. I don't want to work there, so I'm not working there. Listen, I'm not saying you said that. Stop taking it personally.
Why don't we, Dr. Ken? Why don't we think about putting into a plan that we can implement, and then have the power to decide whether or not we want to work here? And as you say, as in the past, there have been certain people in power every time. I understand that. You're 100% correct.
Because no one wants to work there, Marty. If they wanted to work there, they
I'm
would
not
have
talking about the
applied.
work. I'm talking about the getting in power.
Forget the power. I'm going to build my own. That's how we get power. I just build my own. When
If
I
you
build
had
something,
the power, you would.
listen up. When I build something, I'm going to go find a black construction company. When I need an electrician, I'm going to go find a black master electrician. When I need some plumbing, I'm going to find a black master plumber. And I'm going to pay them just like they do. You got to use the same tactic they do, and then you'll build up. And you won't need to worry about having power or not having power in the halls of somewhere I don't want to be.
Well, Dr. Ken, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about going further back upstream and taking power to be in the position to do exactly what you just talked about.
We're already there. We just need to do it.
We're not in power.
I don't need to be in power there at the Department of Transportation. I need to be in power in my community and in my business and in my house, and I don't care about the Department of Transportation. Why do people care?
Because we're spending $3 billion on the 4 projects I just mentioned in the next few years.
But you weren't going to get it anyway. And why would I spend time fighting for that when I got a whole bunch of other stuff that's worth significantly more to fight for? It's just not worth it.
That is exactly what I'm talking about. That, Dr. Ken, I'm talking about all those other myriad of things that we need to do. This is just one facet of it. I'm talking about healthcare and transportation and education, environment, and schools and buildings and housing. I'm talking about the whole package.
So you build your own, and you do what everybody else does.
Absolutely, that's what I'm talking about. So let's develop a plan to build our own.
All right.
You talked about this the other day. You said, do you want to be independent or you want to be integrated?
We'll
100%
start tomorrow.
Perfect question.
Well, we'll start tomorrow then.
Start tomorrow. What's step one?
We're going to look at what is the easiest, lowest entry industry that we can take, build a business, and grow. We'll do that tomorrow.
But you just said the white people own everything.
They own theirs. They don't own ours. We'll build our own. I got to roll.
What's step one?
I just told you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
The award-winning 1017 The Truth proudly celebrates Black excellence and the most monumental moments in our history. Tune in for Dr. Ken's trivia, spotlighting powerful facts and moments you need to know. And Tori Lowe's Our Voices, Our Stories, amplifying the youth, perspectives, and lived experiences that define who we are. Celebrating Black excellence, celebrating our history. All month long on 1017 The Truth.
It is time to plan for kindergarten. Will your child turn 3, 4, or 5 by September 1st? Learn about kindergarten programs and enroll now at Milwaukee Public Schools. Explore schools offering traditional kindergarten, Montessori, and more. MPS students enjoy art, music, and physical education along with reading, writing, math, and science. Bus transportation and before and after school care are available. Attend the citywide kindergarten enrollment fair on February 21st at North Division High School. Get the details at mpsmke.com/enroll.
Join me every Friday at 11 a.m. for the Milwaukee Experience with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee. We're a city that knows how to celebrate, where the calendar is packed with festivals, the plates are piled high with flavor, and a lakefront sunrise sets the stage. Here in Milwaukee, every street leads to something worth savoring, a place that welcomes you with open arms and where joy is shared in bites, beats, and cheers. The Milwaukee Experience every Friday at 11 a.m. exclusively on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee. Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about 4 walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. Want to say thank you for hanging out. Curly Q, SC. Who else is up in here? Quanda, Sincere. Boom, boom, boom. Crystal, what's going on? Marvin. I didn't see Marvin pop up in there. Hey, what's up? Who else is up in here? Where'd she go? Melody is up in here. Who else? Boom, boom, boom. Jasmine, LT, L. Dawson, not really a city girl. Lucretia, Quanda. I want to say thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Tori Lowe Show's coming up next. Have a great evening. God bless. Take care. Tomorrow, the one business I think black people need to start to become independent and do the opposite of integration. Does it sound mean? Yes. Does it sound racist? Probably. Will it help us all? I think so. Thank you, DJ Brother Z. Have a good night. God bless. I'm out.
Be quiet.